Heintz Boy Garage is the show to watch. If you don't like me, you can suck.
What is up, my dudes? So, long hiatus, but as you may see, we have quite the change in scenery. So before we get into this stuff about talking about what I'm doing, why don't I give you a small tour? Also, I usually film in 4K 60 FPS, but I turned it down to 4K 30 FPS so I can use the wide angle lens. So let me know if this is better than the previous 2-ish videos. Storage. This room is probably the farthest behind out of everything else. I just haven't had space or time yet. Got a little bandsaw, huge air compressor, tire rack, a bunch of my crap that needs to find a home, just a bunch of extra parts and stuff. So I'm not really sure what this room is gonna be. It was going to be the fabrication room, welding room, grinding room, but there's no ventilation in here, and I just cut like a couple pieces of steel in here, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty foggy in here. So I don't know yet. But the good thing about that room is it stays like 60 degrees in there. In here it's 70 right now. Yeah, I know, 70, and I'm wearing a beanie and a sweatshirt, but I'm a cold boy.
Done with ice. Bird.
So this is the main play area. We got a whole bunch of space. We got a big old heater. We got 2 motorcycles, Model A, the drift truck, the daily, and you can definitely fit another car in here. I used to have the BMW in here, or Dustin comes over with his mini truck and parks in here and works on it. It is the perfect amount of space. And some of the best features, 220 on that back wall, 220 on the other room, in the other room, on that back wall. Unfortunately, it's not anywhere else, but maybe I can get someone to move those out farther, like on the middle wall. And also, the best part is I live here. This isn't just a shop. My apartment is up there. Probably not gonna give a tour right now because it's kind of messy and I just haven't gotten everything the way that I want it yet. But when I get it all decorated perfect and shit, you gonna see it. So this is the long-awaited revival of Heintz Boy Garage. I guess I shouldn't say revival because that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna go back to like a video a week. It just is a ton of work, especially when you're trying to do all this stuff and start to take on side work. But this is like Heintz Boy Garage V.2. We got freaking space. I got my own stuff. It's another big one. Ready for this? You freaking ready for this?
Bird.
I got my own welder. So I ended up going with the Miller Multimatic 220. So you can see over here, we can literally do anything that we want with this welder just by cycling this menu. I can go TIG, steel and stainless, TIG aluminum, MIG steel, MIG stainless, flux core, stick welding. I can do anything I want, and this has the auto set feature. So if I'm going to be, let's TIG some aluminum like I was doing up here. I've only tested for maybe like an hour total, but I got a couple good little test welds going on here, figuring it out. And I can just come over here and I can set my tungsten size. I'm using 3/32, and I can set my material size. I just kind of guessed on this, but that'll set your base amps. You can go up, you can go down, change your thickness, change your tungsten. This is not sponsored whatsoever. This is a full price welder, but I really like it. And it's freaking dope. So that was a big hit to the drift truck fund. Welder, 3 bottles, that was a whole lot of money too. I got 1 argon for TIG, 1 C25 for MIG, and then I got a small argon for back purging stainless when I decide to start doing that. Yeah, we got workspace, got my little toolbox there, we got a parts washer, we got shelving, a big old heater that puts out a ton of heat, parts everywhere. So yeah, I've been here about, I'll just be starting month 3, I believe. I freaking love this place. I didn't purchase it, which is fine with me. There's actually a neighbor here. This is the owner. You can see that door that goes into his garage, and then he has an apartment up above as well. But they're longtime family friends of the Heintz family, and it was a good deal. So I was like, heck yeah, buddy. Okay, so now let's get into the car aspect of things. So I'm gonna start with the daily, because not much has changed, so it'll be easy to go over that. But I traded my buddy Dustin front wheels, so now I have all Euro lines, and this thing is stupid low, and it's stupid cool looking. Kind of hard to get a good view on this inside the shop, but just been tinkering away a bit. Stupid little things, some blue plug wires. Cut the valve or the timing cover thing. Did a timing belt, water pump, all that shenanigans. So this is still good. This is still a runner. Just putting some parts on it so it can be a little more renewed and reliable. Oh, and I forgot a couple of my favorite things. I swapped to the Ranger headlights. I put a new bumper on it, so it's not all dented and rusty like it was. I got all new LED bulbs for everything. Back, front, all that stuff. And my favorite part is the underglow. It'd be kind of a pain to try to get to show. You know what? I'm gonna do it, because this is my first video back. I'm gonna shut the door, turn all the lights off. I'm gonna show you this underglow. So I guess that's one thing I didn't mention too, is I rewired all of my accessories because they were wired super jank the first round. Oh my god, that buzzing is horrible. So I rewired all of my accessories, all of these gauges, into some relays down here at the bottom. With some toggle switches back there, you can kind of see. And my cool little sticker, it says "Talk shit, get hit." I just deleted that little pocket that was there so I could put the relays behind it. So now the daily is not jank. And now the drift truck. Let's see here. So I really wanted to get one of these Gilmer drive setups because they whine like a supercharger, and that would just be cool on a truck that has no horsepower. It sounds like it's supercharged. So right now I'm working on that, and I'm working on getting this pulley alignment right. This pulley isn't pressed on, but I think I got all the math figured out. That'll work. I got my new oil pump and pickup in for that pan. When I took out the old pump and I took it apart, I looked inside it. It was absolute trash. So I'm hoping that with this new high volume pump, we will have some decent oil pressure. It was like 7 PSI at hot idle. When I parked this thing in 2018, it was a long time ago. So hopefully we get some oil pressure back, and if I drift this year, we can make it last this year, and then I'll put my roller block 302 in it this winter. Then we also got some stuff going on back here. When I built this whole 3-link setup, Watts link setup, I was very new to suspension geometry, and I built it all wrong. So Right now, I'm working on getting a good anti-squat angle. It's where your links meet. Like if you drew an imaginary line, where they meet at the point in the front is supposed to be somewhere on the axis of your center of gravity to the bottom of your back wheel. So that means that your links should be pointed towards each other. And actually, mine, before I started modifying these brackets, they were faced away from each other. The bottom one was a little pointed down and the top one was straight. So it was actually going backwards. And I'm surprised that it didn't feel like absolutely insane. So now we got adjustable bracket in the front, and I got a new bracket for the rear to raise it up some more. And you can't really see it with the wheel on, but you can kind of see that bracket back there. It's very small and it has one bolt hole. These QA1 brackets are actually meant to hold coilovers on the rear of the axle, but I bought 2 of them and I'll use them on the front. So then we got a bunch of adjustability there too. And this stuff's all 1/2 inch Heintz joints, and I'm gonna upgrade those to 5/8 because I still plan to go turbo.
Bitch!
And I want to run some good grip, and with the right anti-squat, bitch is gonna hook, and I don't want to be snapping Heintz joints in half because they're too small. I think I threw the brackets away, but another thing I did was this sway bar. This is for a Civic, and it used to have 2 bolt holes, which would be like your adjustable links, and it would probably sit something like this. This would be perpendicular to the ground, and the way I have to run it to clear everything, it has to go straight up, which means you can't mount anything off of it. So I had these 2 bolt adapter things, and basically they were way too long, so the sway bar didn't do a whole lot. So I shortened it up like 4 inches, and I just welded this tab on here. This is actually my first TIG project. It's not great. I can't really get a good shot of that, but it's not great, but I didn't expect it to be. It's my first TIG part, but it'll do the job. And we will hopefully not have a whole bunch of body roll like the picture here that I post right now. So overall, not much has really changed. I kind of started picking apart the wiring a little bit, but I haven't really started doing anything crazy. But I kind of want to save the wiring for last because it's going to be a big job and it's going to be kind of boring. So first I'm going to do all the fun stuff and use my new welder, and that'll keep me entertained for now. So yeah, moral of the story is sorry for leaving you guys hanging, but shit gets crazy when you're doing stuff like this. And I forgot to mention, the whole upstairs was trash. It almost made me not want to get this place at all. Like, the bathtub had cat shit in it, and the carpets were absolutely horrible. Everything was 1980s looking, and me and my dad had to tear apart everything. So this was a whole renovation project upstairs, which is why it's kind of messy and unfinished right now. But this place has been a lot of work. I've had to do a lot of cleaning and organizing, and we both did the upstairs thing. My dad did a lot more than me, but you know, just a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, I haven't been super productive on the vehicle side of things. But now I'm gonna try to get some stuff going because I want to drift this year in that, because I sold the BMW because it was kind of a poopy butthole. So I don't want this video to be completely revolving around conversation. So I don't really know what to do right now. So maybe let's just do a little bit of aluminum TIG welding. So obviously sitting on a little rolly chair welding onto a stool is not ideal, but I'm still just trying to get this figured out and see what I want the setup to be. I also need to build a cart to hold all this shit, but again, I'm just in the thinking process. I forgot to turn my gas on. And now my freshly sharpened tip looks like booty cheeks. So I gotta go frickin' sharpen my tip again, which is so frustrating. Tungsten stick out. I've just been eyeballing. I haven't even measured it once just because I'm kind of experimenting. I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, we're just flying by the seat of our pants. Looks like we definitely got some contamination in there. I think the tungsten still had some crap on it. And it started like absolute ass and ended like mild ass. I'm kind of just all over the place today. Okay, I'm gonna practice something that I've been trying to preach to myself. And this whole dropping the axle, cutting off all the tabs, grinding it down, and all that stuff seems like a lot of work. So my saying is, don't think about it. It's gotta get done. So just don't think about it and do it. So I'm just gonna put my headphones in. I'm gonna freaking do it. So I am capping my lines off while I take them off. Earlier you saw me cap that middle one, and I can't grind these safely without risking cutting this line, so I'm going to take them off at the caliper and cap the calipers off. But I always suggest this, especially if you don't know how long your calipers are going to sit open. You know, I think in school I learned that it takes like a couple hours for your brake fluid to absorb moisture. Like brake fluid absorbs moisture really easily, and within a couple hours your brake fluid could have moisture in it, and moisture on bare metal parts, i.e. the inside of your calipers, will cause rust, and then you will have to replace your caliper, which I am no stranger to, because I'm cursed with brakes, I guess. So let's cap these. Okay, cutting, grinding. Yeah, like I said, let's not think about it. Let's just freaking do it. Oh yeah, is that fan obnoxious? I turned it on because it got toasty, but let me know. I need an extension cord. Another tip, buy multiple grinders so you don't have to change out your stuff every time. Just grab a different grinder. Well, that's mostly down. I'm gonna have to come back in some of the areas that I can't get with a big grinder and maybe hit that with a Dremel or something. And so I'm on to these bottom ones, and they're just really big, and I don't care to sit on them with a grinder for, 10 minutes just trying to cut them off with a cutoff disc. So I'm gonna go borrow my dad's plasma cutter and try to make quick work of that. I'm also gonna get some food because I'm hungry. Target acquired. And recording. What? So this thing's cleaned up. Got the top link done, got the bottom links done, and I also got the factory brake line holders zipped off because I don't need those. So we can throw this back under there, under the truck, to test fit some brackets. So this is a point I was thinking about earlier today, and I was like, when I get these tabs cut off, how am I gonna know where to put my axle when it's in the air, especially? Because normally I would measure from center line of the wheel to center line of that wheel and measure the wheelbase, but with the front not being factory and it's got a lot of caster in it, that's not correct. So I think the next step is to cut the new bed out underneath so it'll fit over this garbage and center it in the wheel well, because my wheel well was not centered the whole time this truck has been built. It has been a little too far back. I've got the bed over there. It's not the cleanest thing, but it's better than that. So the license plate truck will no longer be. It will be regular truck. Well, I feel like that was a pretty successful first video back. Like I said before, I don't know what my schedule's gonna be like. If I upload once a week, if I upload once a month, if I upload once a year, but for now, you got one. So the bed, I'm gonna save until tomorrow. I'll just stop the video here, not make it too long and crazy. And so yeah, moral of the story is the shop is dope. And don't sit on axles that are on jack stands. Shop is dope, side shop is dope, apartment is dope. Truck is dope. Welder's dope. Having my own space is dope. It's getting warm out, that's dope. Yeah, so If you liked the video, let me know. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, comment what you think about the .30 FPS wide angle versus 60 FPS. 60 FPS 4K. I think I like this better. It's easier to film this way because I can't see what I'm filming, but I have a good idea that I'm in the camera view. So I'm gonna go edit this video. Peace.